Let us see the printhead assembly. This is how the printhead looks like. Printhead assembly consists of the several components. It consists of an extruder assembly. It consists of an extruder mount, a nozzle, a small fan, an extruder fan mount, various fasteners to assemble these things like M3 into 12 Allen cap screw, M3 washer, M4 into 20 Allen cap screw, M4 washer, M4 nuts, and various tools will be requiring to assemble all these things like 2.5 mm Allen driver, 3 mm Allen driver, various sizes of the Allen driver, and a short piece of a 3 mm filament which is made up of a ABS material. Now the first step in the printhead assembly is extruder assembly. Extruder assembly again consists of the several components. It consists of an extruder body, an extruder idler with 608 bearing, a small shaft installed into that 608 bearing, a large herringbone gear with a hop bolt put inside into it, a small herringbone gear, an extruder latch, motor, six zeroed bearings, two numbers, M4 into 55 nut with thumb screw knob. You can see the extruder spring put inside into it. Again we will be requiring several fasteners for assembling the extruder assembly like 1.5 into 6 mm set screw, M3 into 12 mm Allen cap screw, M3 into 25 mm Allen cap screw, M3 nut, M3 washer, and again Allen drivers for assemble all these things, and again a small piece of a filament. Now let us start with the actual extruder assembly. The first step in this extruder assembly is installing the idler bolt. Install M3 into 25 bolt, M3 washer and M3 nut into the idler assembly. Only put the screw in till the tip is flush with the nut. Do not put the screw thoroughly inside. Next step is insert 8 mm smooth rod into 608 bearing, which has been already installed, you can see in the video, and press this bearing into the idler block using hand pressure, or you may use the pliers. Next step is install extruder washer into the body. Place the printed extruder washer into the extruder. Next step in the assembly is installing the gear, bolt and the first bearing. First, press hop bolt into the large herringbone gear which has been already put inside the herringbone gear. It is a press fit hop bolt into the herringbone gear. Next step is installing the emmett washer onto hop bolt, and then a 608 bearing. For that, two washer, small one or a large one is required, then over that 608 bearing. Next step is installing the second bearing. On the opposite side of the gear, add a 608 bearing, before that emmett washer, and tight this, use a emmett lock nut. Tight the lock nut down until the bearing is seated. Make sure there is no space between the nut, washer and bearing. You may use a spanner or a plier to tighten the nut. At the end of the tightening the lock nut, make sure the large gear shouldn't be able to rock back and forth, but it should spin freely. Here you can see the large herringbone gear is spinning freely. Next step in the assembly is installing the idler onto the body. Install the extruder idler onto the body. Tighten with M3 to 25 bolt down to secure the idler. Next step in the assembly is small herringbone gear assembly. Install M3 nut into the bottom of the small herringbone gear. M3 nut is already installed into the small herringbone gear as shown in the video. Then install the 1.5 into 6 mm set screw through the side of the small gear and into the nut. Install gear on motor. Locate the flat side of the motor shaft and slide the small gear onto the motor shaft. Adjust location of the gear ladder according to the adjustment. Now install motor on the extruder body. First, hold the motor in the location where it will be mounted. Align the herringbone gears by sliding the small gear in or out on the motor shaft so the V grooves are centered on each other. Install motor using 3 M3 to 12 bolts, 3 M3 washers, take note of the orientation of the motor wires. Orientation of the motor wires is a very essential step as the length of motor wire is very small and proper orientation will make sure the proper assembly in the later stage. Make sure gears are tightened enough such that there is no backlash. Tighten the set screw on the small herringbone gear. This completes our motor installation on extruder body. Next step in the assembly is installing the extruder latch. Install 2 M4 nuts into the top of the extruder body shown in the video. You can see the 2 M4 nuts into the top of the extruder body already being installed. Then install 2 M4 into 55 thumb screw with M4 washer, extruder spring, M4 washer and extruder latch into the M4 nut which have been already installed into the body. Make sure the correct orientation of the extruder latch. This completes our extruder assembly. Review your extruder assembly as shown in the video. Next part in print head assembly is assembling the print head. First, slide the piece of filament through the extruder and into the nozzle to ensure alignment. You can see the filament is coming out at another end truly. This ensures your alignment. Then insert two M4 nuts into the mounting flange of the extruder body. You can see the M4 nuts already been put into the extruder body. Then assemble extruder, nozzle and extruder mount together. Final step in prehead assembly is attaching the extruder fan. First, attach the small fan to the duct using 4 M3x12 Allen cap screws and note the orientation of the fan. Now using 2 small Allen cap screw and M3 washer, attach the fan assembly to the extruder mount. This completes our prehead assembly. Rear prehead assembly.